Welcome everybody. Today we are starting our lesson number 2 of Introduction to Chemistry, and this is slide number 6. Now today we will see the role of medicines. Basically, medicines are basically natural or synthetic substances which treat or prevent disease. For example, analgesics. They reduce pain. For example, aspirin, they cure pain, they cure fever, they cure inflammation. They also lower the risk of heart attack by preventing the formation of blood clot. Very, very important. And side effects of aspirin, I can quote you two. One is stomach ulcer and number 2 is stomach upset. Now the next most important is antipyretics. It basically lowered the body temperature in high fever. For example, we all know paracetamol. That basically reduces pain and fever. But if we intake paracetamol high dose, then it may create liver problem. Now paracetamol, the functions are they are basically given when there is a low back pain, or when there is a headache, or when there is a toothache. Now this is all about slide number 6, and then we will move to slide number 7. Here we have slide number 7. Now here we will continue with medicines, antiseptics, that is basically used for stopping bacterial infection of wounds. Two most common example are Dettol and tincture of iodine. Now what is basically tincture? Tincture is basically the presence of alcohol. Now this word tincture means presence of alcohol in a solution. Now tincture of iodine, it contains 2 to 7% iodine. This is number 1. Number 2 is either potassium iodide or sodium iodide dissolved in alcohol and water. That is basically tincture of iodine. It's a very important antiseptic. Now we are coming to anesthetics. These are basically compounds which are used for inducing unconsciousness for performing painless surgical operation. Now the next one is antacid, which basically reduces the excessive acid in stomach. Example is sodium bicarbonate and magnesium hydroxide. Now the formula of sodium bicarbonate is, sodium is Na, bicarbonate is HCO3. Now this is NaHCO3, this is sodium bicarbonate, and magnesium hydroxide is MgOH whole twice. This is magnesium hydroxide. Now the next point is antibiotic, which are used to fight bacterial infection. Hundreds and hundreds of antibiotics are in use in today's pharmaceutical industry to reduce pain, inflammation, basically to control infection. Now this is penicillin. This is the first antibiotic. I just wrote one antibiotic. There are lots of antibiotics. For example, ciprofloxacin, pfloxacin, ofloxacin. Okay. Now this is penicillin. This is the first antibiotic. It was basically Alexander Fleming. He was a professor of bacteriology in St. Mary's Hospital, that is in London, and he invented penicillin in the year 1928. Now the next slide is slide number 8. Now here we will learn about the different industries. Now chemistry play a vital role in different industry. For example, in as cleansing agent, in the cement industry, in the glass making industry, in the plastic industry, in the paints industry, in order to make varnishes, then for stain removers, different type of fertilizers. They are basically different chemical compounds. Now we will learn only 2 points here. One is cleansing agent and the another one is stain remover. Now to start with cleansing agents. Now we know the common cleansing agents. One is soap, another one is detergent. Now how soaps are made? By heating vegetable oil or animal fat. For example, sodium or potassium hydroxide. Now, sodium hydroxide is basically NaOH and potassium hydroxide is KOH. But detergents, they are basically water soluble, they are synthetic, and they are prepared from petroleum products. That's the basic difference. Now, these soaps have lesser cleaning action than detergents, used with water for cleaning and washing, whereas detergents, they remove dirt, they remove grease from porous surface. Porous means, for example, clothes. And they also remove dirt, remove grease from non-porous substance, for example, plastics and metals. Another point to differentiate between soaps and detergents. Soap not able to form lather with hard water. Now, what is basically hard water? Now, hard water is the presence of deuterium, that is an isotope of hydrogen in water. Now, you will learn about hard water in higher classes. Now, not able to clean clothes in hard water, whereas in case of detergents, they form lather with hard water and clean clothes in hard water. Now, soaps are less biodegradable, whereas detergents are more biodegradable. Now, what is basically biodegradable? Now, that is basically the capable of being decomposed by bacteria. Now, bacteria decompose certain substances, or there may be some other living organisms that decompose some substances just to avoid air pollution, just to avoid pollution, That's basically biodegradable. Now we are moving to slide number 9. This is the penultimate slide. Now the role of chemistry in industry, we are continuing with that part. Now this is stain removals. Now what are basically stain removals? Now they are basically chemicals. For example, we have a lemon juice, we have hydrogen peroxide, we have glycerin, sodium hydroxide and boiling water. Now the process of removing a mark left by one substance on a specific surface, for example fabric, with the help of a solvent. Now lemon juice basically contains citric acid. They remove the stain from fabrics. Now this is number 2, hydrogen peroxide, a stain removal. They are basically mild bleaching agent and they are also effective in removing stain. Then number 3 is glycerin. They remove stain that is present on the wool. Then we have sodium hydroxide, number 4. They dissolve grease and oil. Now sodium hydroxide, another important use, they can be used as a drain cleaner. And last is boiling water. They basically softens the fruit juice stain on fabrics. Now we are moving to the last slide, and here I have written name of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 scientists. Though this is not enough, there are thousands and thousands of scientists and they have dedicated their entire life to create something, to give something to chemistry. Now I have just written only 6. Number 1 is Joseph Priestley. Now he is basically a chemist, a philosopher, a teacher, then a grammarian, a theologian. Now Joseph Priestley, he discovered oxygen. in the year 1774. He also discovered carbon monoxide, nitric oxide, nitrous oxide, ammonia, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen peroxide. Now, he also introduced carbon cycle. Now, what is basically a carbon cycle? Carbon cycle is a process in which carbon continuously travel from the atmosphere to the earth and then back to the atmosphere. That is basically carbon. That is basically carbon cycle. The next most important scientist is Antony Lavoisier. He recognized and named oxygen, hydrogen. He is known as the father of modern chemistry. But he was executed by guillotine. That's a very bad thing. Now we know John Dalton, very famous for his atomic theory. Now he is from England. Now Lavoisier, he is from France. Lavoisier, he is from France, and Priestley, he is also from England. Now this Lavoisier is known as the father of modern chemistry. Now, why? The reason is he had done work on acids and bases. Now, what are basically acids? Now, acids are basically compounds which contain a replaceable hydrogen atom. The hydrogen atom present in the acid. Now I am showing you here. Now, for example, this one is the acid. This is the acid. This one is also an acid. Now, these hydrogen atoms, these can be replaced, and this can be replaced by a metal, for example, Na. So we can get NaCl, a salt. A very small definition of acid. Now, when we will do the chapter acid, base and salt, we will discuss. Now, base. What are basically base? Base are basically any metallic oxide or hydroxide. For example, CaO, metal along with oxygen, metallic oxide, or metallic hydroxide. This is metal and this is hydroxide, metallic hydroxide. Now, Lavoisier is important for his work on combustion. Combustion is basically burning. In calorimetry also. Calorimetry is basically the measurement of heat in a particular reaction. Now you will learn heat loss equal to heat gain. Now, for example, there are two bodies. One body is at a higher temperature and one body is at a lower temperature. So the heat will flow from the body which is at a higher temperature to a body which is at a low temperature, unless and until the temperature of both the substances become same. Now, calorimetry is based on this basic principle. Now, carbon cycle, that's also important work of Lavoisier. Then elemental analysis. For example, sulfur, that's an element, and water, that's a compound. Now, the basic difference between element and compound, that's also work of Lavoisier. Then redox reaction. Redox reaction means, now this is redox reaction. Redox reaction means basically oxidation and reduction. Oxidation and reduction. Now we will learn about oxidation and reduction when we will study this particular chapter. Now then, stoichiometry. That's very important. That's basically a quantitative relationship between the reactants and the products in a chemical reaction. Now, for example, A plus B, they are known as the reactants, and that will give rise to C plus D. That's basically the products. Now, the basic quantitative relationship between the reactants and the product, that is stoichiometry. Now, thermochemistry, that is study of heat energy associated with chemical reactions. Now he worked in so many fields, so that's the reason. He is known as the father of modern chemistry. The father of modern chemistry. Now the next one, I told you, I think John Dalton. He's famous for his atomic theory. Then we have Mendeleev, who formulated the periodic table of chemical elements. Now he basically arranged the elements in a proper order according to. I don't want to tell you that because periodic table is a big chapter, and we will discuss periodic table separately. So Mendeleev, he basically formulated the periodic law also. The periodic law, how the properties of one element matches with the property of another element. Okay. Now we have Van Helmont. He discovered carbon dioxide, and last but not the least is Glauber. He discovered in the year 1625 concentrate hydrochloric acid, then nitric acid in the year 1648, and Glauber salt. That is basically sodium sulfate, hydrated sodium sulfate. Now this is the formula Na2SO4 dot 10H2O. Now this dot 10H2O is known as water of crystallization. Is known as the water of crystallization. Now we will now these Van Helmont. One thing I should mention, Van Helmont. He is from Belgium. Van Helmont is from Belgium. Okay. Now, so this is all about. This is all about lesson 2 of Introduction to Chemistry. Thank you.